Здравствуйте, мне срочно нужна квартира.
Да, у нас есть в базе более 15 тысяч вариантов недвижимости. Мы обязательно вам что-нибудь подберем.
Риэлторское агентство «Золотые ворота». Самый быстрый и надежный поиск квартир. Салам, привет всем. Мы продолжаем серию интервью с релокантами из разных других стран, кроме России, из Европы, из Америки, из разных других. И сегодня у нас в гостях Карнелия. Карнелия из Германии, из Дрездена. Карнелия, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What is your profession? And what did you do in home country?
Yes, so hello. As already mentioned, my name is Cornelia. I'm 37 years old and I come from Dresden in Germany. I'm here in Uzbekistan for 2 years and 2 months already. And my profession is called here an advisor. It's a quite general term, but basically I work in the field of education. In Germany, I have also been working in the field of education, but also digitalization, e-learning, and especially in adult education.
When and why did you decide to move to live and work in Uzbekistan? What do you do here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I work for the German company GIZ. It's the German Corporation for International Cooperation. It's a German development agency. And this company has its headquarters in Germany. So I worked there for 2 years in Germany. And after 2 years, it was also the COVID times, I decided to go abroad because my company has a wide network of 120 countries where we can go to actually. So then I applied for several positions, mostly Arabic countries because I have a bit of background with Islamic studies. And one position was open in Uzbekistan. And for me, let's say the description of the position was the most fitting one because it was a job in education, in professional education. And actually, I have been to Uzbekistan in 2012. So I thought, okay, why not going back? Because I knew the country has, in the meantime, there were a lot of changes in the meantime. So I was curious how it looks like now. So yeah, I applied for this position and was very fastly accepted, let's say. That was actually in August 2021. And then I moved to Uzbekistan at the beginning of March 2022. We work here, or the project I'm working in is a project in so-called professional education or TVET. That means in Germany we have a system established that besides of university education, there's a system where people are trained, practically trained in a profession. Yeah, so you have a high practical part of training and the theoretical part of training. And the Uzbek government also wants to introduce this kind of system. It's called dual education here in Uzbekistan. And this is where we come in and consult our project partners in Uzbekistan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has your standard of living here improved or worsened compared to life in Germany? What's the difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, Uzbekistan is not the first country abroad I'm living in. So I have also lived in other countries before. So it's always hard to say if it's better or worse than in Germany because it's always different. Let's say it like that. And of course, here I have the privilege that my salary is quite high compared to the local salaries. Yeah, so I can obtain a quite high standard of living. When it comes, for example, regarding apartments, yeah, let's say the quality, let's say the construction quality is maybe not the same like in Germany. Maybe the quality is not that high, but on the other hand, here I can afford a much more bigger apartment, yeah, than I could in Germany, or there's much more choice actually. And for when it comes to work environment, let's say, it's almost the same because here I also mostly work in an office, but here my work environment is much more diverse than in Germany. Yeah, I also have to travel a lot to the regions. We have project partners in all regions of Uzbekistan, and we every day talk at least in 4 different languages in my project. So it's very, let's say, interesting and diverse every day, but also very tiring on the other hand, yeah, as you can imagine. But maybe back to my private life. well, when it comes, for example, to food, I very much enjoy fruits and vegetables here, getting fresh products from the bazaar. Yeah, this is quite nice. And I actually don't miss anything here. But I think it's because I'm already used to live abroad. You have nice restaurants here, which you can explore every week. And yeah, let's say the cultural program is also, let's say, compared to other countries where I have lived, quite rich, but you need some language skills. I mean, you need Russian or Uzbek. Yeah. So at the beginning, I could not benefit that much from it because I didn't have the language skills yet. So,
Okay. Karnelii, what surprised you here in Uzbekistan, and what was very different from what you were used to?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I came back here for the second time. So I was here already in 2012. And what surprised me most actually is what has happened to the country in between, especially to Tashkent. Because when I was here in 2012, there was no advertisement, no ATMs. The economy was still very closed. And now you can see how the country is opening up. Yeah, also getting international foreign investments and so on. So I was surprised to see all these quick changes and developments. I mean, I'm only here for 2 years, but already so many things have changed in this short period of time. Also, I'm surprised about digital services, for example, when it comes to rent contract or organizing taxes and so on. It's all digitalized. And this is actually, I would say, even more advanced than in Germany. Yeah, it's faster. And I knew about the culture before and about the history. But still, here I got to know Uzbek friends, Uzbek colleagues. You talk a lot with people. And I was still surprised, or for me, it was still a bit frustrating how to see let's say, the status of women in the society here. That is something I'm really a bit upset about because I know from female Uzbek friends and colleagues how patronized women are still in the society. Yeah, I was on a wedding last year, arranged wedding, so all this kind of societal expectations towards women is extreme, I find. And me as a foreign woman, of course, I have a lot of privileges. Yeah, these expectations are not towards me. So I can live here freely and can go out and so on, no problems. But getting to know, let's say, the local perspective is quite a bit different. Yeah, and I know about the privileges I have here, let's say. And maybe what also is still a learning for me is especially at work, I feel we have different ways of communicating, or it's always you always have to read between the lines actually to understand certain, let's say, topics, or criticism, conflicts are not openly visible. You have to listen to people, to read between the lines to find out where are maybe conflicts where people do say maybe no, but not like directly no, but like this. Yeah. So this is quite challenging, but for me, very interesting. Yeah.
Share a bit about your adaptation experience. How did you adjust and settle in here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so before coming to Uzbekistan, as I said, in March 2022, I had some preparation that was offered by my company. So we had some country studies, some history. I had 1 week of Russian lessons before I came, but otherwise I didn't have any language skills. I remembered some words in Uzbek from my stay in 2012 here, but that's it. So at the beginning, I was quite busy with actually learning languages. And maybe why did I start first learning Russian? It's because in our project, we have some colleagues who only speak Russian, and I really needed this for work. Yeah, so the first months, I really dedicated 3 times a week to online and offline Russian lessons. But the first half year was really tough for me, to be honest, because I'm a little perfectionist. So of course, I wanted to have quick results. I wanted to quickly understand people, but learning languages takes always time. So, yeah, but I managed. Now I'm getting along quite well. And now I also started learning Uzbek because I think it's always a question of respect towards the country to also learn, let's say, the local language. Yeah, and it's the official language here. I studied back in Germany. I have studied Arabic actually at the university, so I kind of understand some words from Uzbek language. So it's not so super difficult for me, but still, it's you need time and effort, of course, to learn it. And thanks to my language skills now, I can much more take part in the cultural life of Tashkent, go to the theater, to the opera, to presentations. And I have a group of Russian friends now here with whom I now also start speaking Russian, and also with my colleagues. They are very supportive and happy when I speak Russian with them or a little bit of Uzbek. So, and actually, especially my colleagues made it very easy for me to adapt here to Uzbekistan. They helped me a lot at the beginning. They are very supportive and explained me a lot about the country. And it was good that I had a lot of business trips at the beginning of my project, so I could really see, let's say, the realities in the regions in Uzbekistan. And there we worked together with schools, with professional schools. So we had contacts with the teachers, with directors, but also the students. And that gave me a very good, let's say, insight and starting point to work here in Uzbekistan.
Do you plan to return? What are your plans for future, for example, 5 or 10 years?
Wow, that's a very long time. Well, I plan more short term, let's say. My project will run until September next year. So for sure I will be here. Maybe we have a little prolongation. Afterwards, I think I will apply either within my company for another country to work somewhere else. I'm not yet sure if I will continue in Uzbekistan because there will be a follow-up project, but I think I need something new, to be honest. What I could also imagine is just go on a sabbatical for 1 year to have a break. But let's see, I cannot yet say. I think in the long term, I will have kind of a basis in Germany, yes, but I know myself, I will always be somewhere in the world, so it will be not my last country to where I live.
What do you think are the development prospects for Uzbekistan in the next 5 years, and what do you think will happen here later?
Good question. I don't have a crystal ball to really tell, but I think the country will open up even more to the world. Because this process has now already started. I can see Uzbekistan is getting more and more international. And I can see this clear difference from 2012 when I have been here for the first time. What I'm a bit worried about, to be honest, is that a lot of old housing and urban structure is destroyed, actually. We can see it especially here in Tashkent, that old mahallas are demolished for building new skyscraper buildings, a bit like Dubai style, because everything has to be shiny and fancy and new. I mean, I understand there is a strong wish for something new in the society. I think it's part of Uzbek culture also to have new things and to change something. But for me, let's say, as I'm a lot into heritage and heritage protection and history, it's a bit a pity, I find. But okay, it's not my decision, let's say. I think also Uzbekistan, or I know that the country is working on getting more tourists into the country. It's getting more, let's say, famous on an international level. Yeah, because, for example, when I got the position here, I can just tell an example. My colleagues, they even didn't know where Uzbekistan is located. Yes, for them, it's somewhere in the east, nearby Afghanistan. So everybody thinks it's very dangerous. And as I studied the history of Central Asia, of course, I knew about it, and I knew about the significance of the Silk Road and everything. And I hope that this is also not forgotten here in the country, and that the history is still kept. I really wish that. I mean, a first step, what I find positive is that recently the Soviet mosaics, they have been kind of, well, they are not protected here, but I know there's a new law that, for example, advertising posters cannot be put onto the mosaics anymore. They have to be visible. And I think this is, for example, a first step where the heritage, also the Soviet heritage, which is maybe connotated in a more negative way, where it's really like valuated, yeah, for people. And I hope that this will happen more, actually, and also that nature is protected more, yeah, because we read a lot in the news that trees are cut for new high-rise buildings. So, yeah, these are my wishes, let's say.
What advice can you give to English-speaking people moving to Uzbekistan for permanent residency?
Yeah, so which advices can I give? Maybe from my own history, I would say read about the history and the culture beforehand, inform yourself about the country. It's always good to know a bit about the background. And for me, the key was really learning the languages. Russian is very helpful here in Tashkent, but also, of course, Uzbek is always, let's say, a good door opener, especially to people, because people really like to exchange with foreigners. So it will always help you to get along in everyday life, to travel around, and also just be open to the country. I know a lot of people who came here who didn't know anything about the country and then were positively surprised also about the diversity here. And just come with an open mind and a willingness to learn and to talk to people. This would be my recommendation.
Okay, Карнелии, thank you for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Отдельное спасибо ресторану «Живаго» за предоставленную локацию, где подают самые вкусные стейки в Ташкенте. Спасибо вам за просмотр. Если вам понравился этот сюжет, обязательно ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на наш канал, обязательно поддерживайте нас. И увидимся в следующем выпуске. Пока!
Едем жить в